I want to try to give you those behind-the-scenes look at the different areas around a cruise ship, because they are quite impressive and extensive. So the officers and basically the crew on board put together this great presentation for you. And to start things off, we have our navigation officer. He's one of the first officers on the bridge to start the presentation, so please give a nice round of applause to Val.
Thank you very much, everyone. A very good afternoon. We will continue with this tour. What you are looking next will be when the ship was on the dry dock. So we don't see this most often. This one, while the ship was on Germany during constructions. The way how they built the ship, they put it block by block. It's like a puzzle. You see the one that is the crane is lifting. And then they stick it with a very strong glue that comes out Norwegian Sun. You see, it's not yet completed. You see like half of it.
Please just raise your hand and they will come to you. We'll alternate top and bottom here. One question up top, one down on the bottom. Right behind you, Billy. Here we go, up top.
I would like to know how many liters or gallons of diesel the Sun has on board.
Yeah, when we leave Miami, we are full of bunkers, and that's about 500,000 gallons. So we have a bunkering capacity of 500,000 gallons. Each hour, in average of this cruise, we are burning about 1,000 gallons. So about 25,000 gallons in one day. So we can go for 2 weeks before we need to refuel. But we are refueling every time we are in Miami, just to be on the safe side.
Just a few words about the fuel. They get about 50 to 60 feet per gallon. How about that?
Up top there, Billy, go ahead.
A friend of mine is an engineer, and we were debating what could it possibly cost to construct per square foot. And he was saying probably a luxury house is $200 to $250, and then you go into certain hotels depending on the accommodations, it could be similar. But when I figured the superstructure, I'm not an engineer, but I took a wild guess. I says it has to cost at least $600-700 per square foot with furnishings and all, maybe even more. Am I close to that?
With the price for the whole vessel is
The whole vessel. Well, I know it's they said you told us $400 million.
Yeah.
Now, what is the square footage on the living space, the accessible space for the entire ship on every level when you consider everything?
I don't have the exact.
You don't have that?
No, I don't have that. But you can find out.
You didn't satisfy my curiosity. It doesn't mean I don't love you.
Thank you.
And Marissa.
What's the difference between a nautical mile and a mile? How does it compare?
Well, a land mile is a little bit longer. If, for example, there's 1.15 a land mile in a nautical mile. So, for example, 20 knots, that would then be 23 land miles. Just multiplied by 1.15 land miles.
And up top.
Hi, 2 quick questions. One is, when we are anchored, do you use the thrusters to keep us in a straight line? And the second question is, how is it decided which of the ships get to be at the docks, vis-a-vis Cozumel, and those that have to anchor and tender? Thank you.
All right. The direction of the ship and a tanker, that also depends on if there is a heavy swell along the ship, so they want to keep at least one side of the ship as calm as possible, so we can operate the tender safely. But if there is, if both sides are just the same, I mean, swell and wind-wise, we just let it drift with the wind a little bit there. So, and the second question is that we actually take turns in a port, for example, like Cozumel there, and the fact is that these ports are getting more and more crowded, as every year goes by, basically, because they are building, or they are putting out about one new ship, even 2 or 3 ships every year. So for example, next week we're going to be alongside, and then the week after also we're going to be alongside, and then we have some anchors, and the same goes for everybody. They take turns on this. And this is of course planned, months, if not years ahead. We have to submit our schedules, and we discuss this with the port authorities, and then we discuss among ourselves, RCCA, Carnival and us, and then we come to terms and to make the best out of it.
Yeah, Devil.
Yeah. I would like to ask the chief engineer whether anything is being done. This vessel is 6.5 years old. The lighting efficiency does not look as if it's being improved. I don't know whether you were doing anything periodically, I mean quarterly, or thereabouts, about improving motor efficiency. You've got a tremendous amount of electricity, and I don't know whether it is being used as effectively as it might be. But out in this room, and I see that they're using essentially incandescent lamps. These are almost going out of business. The lamps themselves. Are you doing anything about that, or is this being done during your periodic visits to the shipyard?
On this ship we have a diesel electric propulsion system, so we are using electricity for everything, even for the propellers. But of course we have a huge consumption in the hotel operation for light and air condition and the galleys and everything. So of course we are all the time thinking about what kind of light light bulbs we are using. So during the years we have been changing type of bulbs quite frequently. The more newer developed bulbs is using less electricity. And with the fuel prices we have today, we are of course thinking about this all the time, how to use less energy to keep the light and air condition and everything running. And also in the public rooms like this, the Stardust Theater, we don't need to have full cooling during the night time. So that the temperature is adjusted during night time compared to what it is during daytime when we have people there, and also the same in the restaurants. So the company is spending quite a lot of money on energy saving.
And what's up?
Hi, I know Norwegian Cruise Lines boasts the youngest fleet, and I'm just wondering how long a boat is in commission, and then after it's retired, what happens to the boat, or is it still used after it doesn't go on cruises, or how does that work?
Well, these ships, they are lasting a very long time, because just like the team mentioned, if you have a constant maintenance program going, I mean, as we are sitting here, there's always something going on, I mean, day and night, and for example, the engines, they are being rebuilt several times over the course of the ship's lifespan. And just to mention about the lifespan, I mean, this is going to be easy the last 24, 25, 26 years, no problem. And we put it into dry dock like every 2.5, 3 years, and then we change all the upholstery, and we change carpets, and we do the bigger maintenance and overhaul that we otherwise could not do when the ship is in service. I mean, we could not just rip out all the carpet there when we are on a cruise. That wouldn't work too well, though. But our cruise ships that were built in the actually in the early 70s, even late 60s, and they are still going. I mean, it's all a matter of how you take care of it. I mean, just like your own car, if you run it down, I mean, it won't last that long. I mean, but if you take care of it and maintain it, it will last an awful long time.